I thought I heard the phone again. Good morning, football. We are presented by Audi. We are live in New York. It's Thursday, October 26th. You know what that means. TMF right here on NFL Network. We've got the Dolphins and the Ravens. I've got Nate Burleson and Peter Schrager here, and it's time for the lead block.
Lead block?
Lead.
Lead block.
Lead.
Very well done,
Lead
guys.
block.
Usually Kyle does that like little falsetto thing, but you guys did a good job. You didn't sing it as a, what was it, Mike Myers yesterday?
Yeah, I did Austin Powers. No, I did Dr. Evil.
Didn't happen.
Lead block.
It was Justin Bieber that we were singing, but that's okay. You guys
Is it too late now to say sorry?
Sorry. Dolphins, Ravens, guys, it's an AFC showdown tonight. I'm so excited for this one because we get to see what Matt Moore can do. Is he more than a backup? There's some tough matchups in this one, guys, so let's do it with another edition of Throwdown Thursday.
Yeah, okay.
Mortal Kombat style. We've got some challenges here, some battles within the battle, if you will.
Right.
So Matt Moore up against Jay Cutler. Listen, we know Cutler officially out tonight. We don't know how long he's going to be out, but who gives the Dolphins a better chance long term? Pretty much the whole season.
And that booty's on the sideline, and that booty might remain on the sideline even if he comes back. Imagine this: Matt Moore continues what he did, and he picks up where he left off, and they make plays. Jarvis, Kenny Stills, even Jai, they get more involved than ever, and they have a breakout game. They still haven't had that breakout game. Players have had breakout moments, but if they have that breakout game, we can see Matt Moore as a starter for the rest of the season.
So why would they bring in Jay Cutler?
Because he's been a perennial backup. And some would even say, I was reading online and somebody said, Matt Moore has had starting talent. He's decided to be a backup. Now, what if as a player, as a professional, right now he looks in the mirror and says, I'm done with being a backup. Let me decide to be the starter of the Miami Dolphins and play like that. He could be the starter in the future.
I always go big picture. I feel like it's almost symbolic of their season, about what they've been through. And we're going to get more into what they've been through throughout the show. But you know, Hurricane Irma happens, and they lose their offensive line coach, and all this stuff happens, and yet here we are, their third quarterback, and Matt Moore is almost symbolic of that. He's been in the league for a long time. He's an undrafted guy, and he's been around. He's been with Dallas, Carolina, and with the Dolphins forever. So isn't it symbolic if it ended up being Matt Moore after all the things they've tried to do with bringing in Cutler and trying to get Tannehill back on the field from last year's injury, that, hey, I was here all along. I got you into the playoffs last year with winning 2 of the last 3 games. I know that quarterback's room, and it's a tight one. And Gase and Clyde Christensen, all those guys, and Cutler's got Moore's back, and they both have Tannehill's back. I think Matt Moore right now, if he can win tonight on the road on a short week, coming off what they did, I think you have to ride the hot hand, and you might have to tell Cutler, we want you ready, we want you there. But Matt Moore's our guy from now.
I've never met him. You have. I don't think anybody knows a lot about Matt Moore. How would you describe him to somebody who's never met him, just from talking to him for a couple minutes?
Ultimate team guy, guy's guy, wants to be in the room, bust chops.
Passionate,
and smart, and whatever for the team. A lot of quarterbacks would not have taken the situation well. I was the backup last year. I got you to the playoffs. Tannehill goes down. I am here. Hello, I am here. You're going to go sign Cutler for $10 million when I'm here making much less than that, and yet took it in stride and said, I got it. So I think this is the perfect deposition for a backup quarterback, and he has the perfect potential as a starter.
Not the perfect situation, though, up against Suggs and company. We're going to be all up in his grill all night long in Baltimore. All right, next round here, Joe Flacco up against Cameron Wake and Ndamukong Suh. Friend of the show, Ndamukong Suh.
I love this.
Who gets the best of who?
Ndamukong Suh is an absolute Destructicon, all right? Now, what we know about Flacco is that he can deliver it with the best of them. He can sit back in that pocket, and when he gets in a rhythm, he's a hot hand. He can get that ball out of his hand, but that right there, that beast of an actual pass rusher, run stopper, run stuffer, Suh and Cameron Wake, they are going to be all over Flacco.
No Yonda
with the struggles that they've had on offense, being able to rush the ball, the inconsistency at wide receivers, the Ravens are going to struggle to keep Joe Flacco upright. Joe Flacco wants to stay in the pocket and deliver the ball. They're going to smother him as much as possible. And the moment he even thinks about moving, guess who's going to be on him? Wake and Suh.
Wake is a beast, and they call him Contract Cam down there because he's always on these one-year deals, and he's always like, all right, I want more money. And he gets it. He is fantastic, and Suh, to me, is still one of the top 3 defensive tackles in the league. I'm going to give you a wild card name here. Charles Harris out of Missouri, the first-round pick. He moved to the outside last week. He is a pass rush demon. We've heard a lot about other rookies. This might be his coming-out party. I think the Ravens' offense is in for a very long night.
Flacco's been sacked 17 times so far this season. Let's move on, guys, to Jay Ajayi up against the Ravens run defense. This is like the story of this game, right? Everybody could run on the Ravens run defense, but they might have something to say on a short week up against a not 100% Jay Ajayi behind that offensive line that's been struggling to sort of create some space for him.
I'm going to go with the Ravens on this.
Okay.
I feel like at some point you look yourselves in the mirrors and you say, what are we? What are we as a team? And this is not Baltimore Ravens football. I think this is a galvanize, everyone rally around, let's have our moment. I think the Ravens can shut down Jay Ajayi in that offense, especially like you mentioned, offensive line injuries all over the place for Miami. So I like this situation for the Ravens defense just because I think John Harbaugh and Dean Pease can get them to rise to the occasion.
Worst run defense in the league, Nate.
What you do when you have problems on the offensive line, you mask it by the passing game. And your wide receivers have to make plays. Jarvis and Kenny Stills are playing unbelievable. Kenny Stills is out of his mind right now on what he's doing on the field. Now, Jay Ajayi, still no rushing TD, right? The eye black everywhere. Still no rushing TD, but LaShawn McCoy, he went into last week, no rushing TD.
How crazy is that? Jay Ajayi has yet to score a touchdown.
You got to imagine, the Ravens, they had the game plan for the Miami Dolphins, and they're thinking to themselves, oh, man, we got to worry about Jarvis. We got to worry about Kenny Stills. Jay Ajayi still a guy we got to worry about. But the Miami Dolphins know when they get this guy going, they were 6-0 when he rushed for over 100 yards. So this is going to be an emphasis for Miami. But more importantly, the distraction for the Ravens defense is that they have to game plan for the passing game. They're going to go in, they have to stop the passing game, which means this running game can sneak up on them.
Ajayi is such a hothead, too. And I say that in a complimentary way also.
He can get hot at any moment.
If he doesn't get the ball, he lets you know about it. Like, he needs to stay calm and just realize it's a big picture.
He also can get hot at any moment.
Guys, what are we expecting from Jay Ajayi? I know the defense, but they have Brendan Williams back. He was back last week. Maybe he can get, he's good at stopping
He's going to go for
the run.
$150.
Really?
Yeah.
4 out of 5 offensive linemen are hurt for the Dolphins.
$150?
It's tough. He's going to go for $150. They're going to pass to open up the run. Watch.
He won't break 100.
Do that. All right, guys.
Tomorrow.
Last one. Baltimore's own. This is a really important one. Let's get serious now. Baltimore's own Cisco up against Vanilla Ice, who grew up A1A Beachfront Avenue. Who gets the best of who?
Good visual of Cisco.
It's a good visual.
You think Thong Song would be Miami and it would be Swit? No.
So wait, Vanilla Ice from B-More?
No, Vanilla Ice from Miami.
By B-More? I mean, I don't know. Okay, so Cisco, you know, hey, was it Thong Song when he went solo?
I mean, these are two guys.
Are you gonna give me the Drew Hill Cisco?
Yeah, if you give me Drew Hill Cisco.
Drew Hill,
you know what I'm saying? Beauty was her name. Listen, I'll say this, Vanilla Ice.
Both one-hit wonders.
Both one-hit wonders. But with Drew Hill, I would say Cisco had more hits. But I'm going Vanilla Ice, though. Like,
really?
Vanilla Ice, he's like an urban legend.
I think the Vanilla Ice fans out there would look at his catalog and say, "Go Ninja, go Ninja, go." Qualified him as a second hit wonder, the Ninja Turtles 2 movie.
I would like to find 2 people that agree with Peter Schrager at #GMFB.
I'm going to go with Cisco. I think the Thong Song. I think the song. Look at that guy.
Thong Song is an American classic.
I think the Thong Song goes down in the annals with Let It Be and Hey Jude. I think Thong Song. When you think of the thong, okay. I'm going Thong Song, and I didn't even know he was a Baltimore native.
You're saying
that song was revolutionary.
That song comes on.
It changed the game.
Okay, it might change the game, but you also changed the station. You hear that? Doom, doom, doom. I dare you not. I dare you not tap your foot.
I liked it when David Bowie and they did it the first time Under Pressure.
You cannot hear Ice Ice Baby without going like this.
And you hear the Thong Song and you turn it off?
Snap.
No, you don't. You turn it up.
Girl, I don't turn up Thong Song.
I'm doing it at home.
I do.
Oh,
snap. Is that Cisco?
Our very own Omar Ruiz wants to weigh in on this conversation. I am sure of it. We find him live in Baltimore smiling. I mean, what do you got,
Nothing
Omar?
gets my morning going like Throwdown Thursday, and that Cisco reference. Was that 1999?
Yes, you nailed it.
Maybe. I don't even know.
I mean that was my jam in college. Just to have someone sing so passionately about thongs. I mean, good Lord, what a way to start the morning.
Omar!
Yeah,
Omar, we love you. We really do. But let's talk about this Thursday night football game. We're talking Baltimore and Miami, and let's talk about Joe Flacco because this Ravens offense has been injured. They've struggled in recent weeks. So how is head coach John Harbaugh responding to criticism of their play on the offensive side?
Well, he's been sticking up for Joe Flacco, saying he shouldered the load. And Joe Flacco says he feels that angst, that frustration, perhaps the weight of the city on his shoulders. They're not using it as an excuse, but you mentioned the injuries. This is the practice report, names filled all over it. I don't know if I've seen anyone like it. 11 players questionable for tonight, including those 3 big-name wide receivers, Mike Wallace, Rashard Perriman, Jeremy Maclin, a couple other receivers doubtful. No wonder they signed Griff Whalen and Gavin Escobar within the last couple weeks and expect them to play on short notice. Joe Flacco's a realist. Got to give him credit for his honesty, saying he knows this offense is not going to score 40 points a game, but he says sometimes settling for field goals is winning football, not turning the ball over late in games, just simply moving the chains on third downs. It's those little things they can do to beat the Dolphins tonight. They're hoping they get those results starting tonight on Thursday Night Football and turning this season around.
Oh, Matt Moore is no stranger to the big moments on the big stage. The Dolphins have relied on him in the past, notably down the stretch last season and also in that playoff loss to the Steelers. What gives this team so much confidence in their backup QB?
Well, they've seen him do it, Nate. Last year in those 3 starts, he led the Dolphins to average better than 27 points per game. And to put that in perspective, since that time span, only Deshaun Watson, Tom Brady, Matt Ryan, and Drew Brees have led their teams to score more points per game. He's one of the more popular players in the locker room, wears his emotions on his sleeve. We saw him provide that spark last Sunday, leading that second half comeback against the Jets. They're calling him a gunslinger down there. How does he describe the gunslinger mentality? He says someone who loves to compete and someone who loves to throw the football around. He has a tremendous amount of confidence in himself. He says he's been locked down studying the playbook, studying this game plan, even saying he probably wouldn't have time to watch his Dodgers in the World Series. So if he didn't watch the game last night, you know he saved himself some emotional heartache heading into Thursday Night Football tonight.
We appreciate it, Omar. We'll check back in with you later on in the show, all right?
Yeah, thanks, buddy.
All right. Now, I know what I'm doing tonight. It's tonight, the AFC.